ready to go?
Yeah.
Okay, I want to welcome everybody to our April 15th, 2021 Town Board meeting. Can we please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance and moment of silence? Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Okay, we're going to start with anyone who has any public comments. You go over to where the lights are, there's a microphone there, you put it on, state your name, your address, or town, and you can say what you got to say. Not really, considering that I think you're the only one that wants to talk. So go right ahead.
I just had a couple of questions about the parks minutes of the 16th of March. Under Town Liaison Report 3B.
Why don't you give me a second so I can get it? Okay, good.
Okay, the town board plans to hire another company to do a study of the pool surface after the borings are in place. Do you have an estimate yet on how much that's going to be?
No, Al has not given us that estimate yet.
Okay, will that come out of the bond money?
Yes.
Right, and then on new business, 5C.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, where they were talking about the First Responders Day. I had some questions about that, given what Mr. Hernandez had said at the last village board meeting, because the flyer clearly says Woodbury residents only, and at the meeting, he said that out-of-town non-residents, family members would also be welcome. So,
I didn't hear what he had to say, and what is it exactly that he said at the meeting?
he said that all first responders, uniform and civilian, as well as their family members, and non-Woodbury resident family members would be welcome.
Well,
So I'm concerned how that's going to be, how we can handle that.
you would have to speak to him, but we do allow non-residents to come into the park.
Right, with a guest pass.
Well, no, we allow it, they play softball, they play soccer and other events. This isn't, so I don't know exactly what the Parks Committee had in mind when they said that. They haven't talked to me about it.
Okay.
So I really can't answer to that. The only thing I can answer to it is that there are times that we do allow non-residents in the park.
Okay.
I don't think they'd be allowed to go swimming or down below where where you have to have a pass.
Right.
It would probably be for most of the events, like I think they're having a softball game, a 5K run, stuff like that. But you really need to speak to the parks on that. I can't answer that for you right this second.
Okay. All right. Well, my other question was about logistics as well, because I think as of now, or as of March 22nd, the governor's order was that for outdoor gatherings, no more than 200 people.
Okay.
Do you know how many
I
first
have-
responders there are?
I have not attended any of those meetings,
Okay.
so I do not know how many people they expect.
Okay, all right, okay, thank you.
But if that is the case, I will let them know that,
Well, as of
you know,
now,
yeah, exactly. I mean, we try to make plans and the governor wakes up with, you know, a headache and everything changes, so.
right. My concern was just how, now that Mr. Hernandez said that publicly, and I don't know how many people watched the meeting or how many people know, but if somebody doesn't have a park pass, is from out of town, and they just say, oh, I'm going up there, I'm related to so-and-so. I mean, how do you keep control of that?
Like I said, that's on their subcommittee level right now.
Okay,
And I will mention it to him and ask them to please address it.
okay, all right.
Okay. Thank you. Someone raise a hand in the back.
What is it, Mary Chastity? I'm sorry? Mary Chastity? I don't know. On new business, it was listed, I think, number 10, and it's about the 5K that Sandy had mentioned, that the proceeds would go to the food pantry.
Are we still talking about the parks?
Yes.
Because I don't have the 10 on my list.
Oh, that's the last item, about the
Okay.
5K.
Okay.
The proceeds are supposed to go to the food pantry. Now, being the fact that I actually run the food pantry, and no one has approached me about any of this, I find it odd that somebody is going to make a decision that that's where the money is going to. Having said that, food pantry is off politics. I don't care who you are, where you are, or what you are. We're not going to have the food pantry as a political puppet. The people in this community have been extremely generous since this COVID stuff started, okay? I don't want politics involved. The people are generous. We are doing extremely well. And as Joey can tell you, as of not last summer, the summer before that, we get donations from ShopRite, and anything that's left over, you're my witness, Joey. We bring cake, cupcakes, whatever it is, up to the lifeguards, and they enjoy that. Totally non-political. No one has even spoken to me about this 5K or about the money.
Okay, I don't realize that people need to actually come to you
Yeah, they do.
to ask for a donation, but if that's the case, then I'll let them think about maybe bringing it somewhere else then if you don't want it. It's
I
fine by
didn't
me.
say that. I said I don't want it to be politically oriented.
I don't know where you're coming from with the political thing, because this town board is not involved in this event. And
I
I
don't
just
care. You're not
don't know where you
understanding.
come. I know what you're saying.
I don't care who it's coming from, where it's coming from. I'm saying the food pantry is a heart thing. It's not a political thing, and it's not going to get changed into a political thing. That's all I'm saying. Period. Exclamation point. I'm done.
Okay, not a problem. Then I guess when people make comments that a particular group brings food to you, they shouldn't do that. That's okay.
First of all, people bring food unknown to me, okay? There is no statements, there is no cards, there's nothing. It's dropped off in a shed, anonymous, it's brought downstairs, and it's distributed to the people that come to the food pantry. They don't have to show any form of ID. They can be from the Bronx, they can be from Brooklyn, it doesn't matter. They can sign George Washington on that sheet. It's strictly about giving back to people that need. So you're misinterpreting and you're twisting what I'm saying. So please don't do that.
No, okay. All I'm trying to say to you is, I don't know where you're getting this as being political, but when you make statements like this, I find it interesting that Ms. Zumas over here, who's sitting right next to you, will put out on Facebook that the We Are Woodbury, make sure they go up there on Fridays to deliver whatever food that, or Saturday morning. So I'm just stating
No,
that
she
it
went
can't be.
on her own to go to the bagel store and ask the bagel store if they had leftovers and they could donate the bagels to the food pantry. I've never seen her dropping the bagels off because I happen to work full-time. It's all about the bagel world. She went and made the contact, just like we made the contact with ShopRite. She's not apolitical. As far as I know, bagel world's not apolitical, and neither am I. It's about people that need food. She went out of her way to ask, could I use bagels? And my answer was yes.
Okay.
That was it. So don't go pointing fingers at other people.
Hey, Brian,
Yes, Tom?
it's on?
Yes.
All right, let's flip it up.
Can't do it.
I'm happy with it. Okay, then it should work.
I think that's better.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry, Dan, right now, just so you know, is being discussed at a subcommittee level with the Parks Committee. There's no mention to us or anyone here that's had a discussion with anyone about anything being political. I know that I've had a discussion with Joe, and I've heard from Ray, in speaking with him, that the proceeds were possibly gonna go to the food pantry, but there was nothing that was put out to any of us here officially that that's where we were gonna do and what we were gonna do. But I heard you loud and clear, and I'll pass it along, and we'll make sure that we do what we need to do correctly. And there's nobody here that's trying to do that.
All
And
of-
I know I hear what you're saying, and I know that you don't mean it that way, and that you.
No, I do mean it that way.
No.
I don't want any politics involved. That's what I'm trying, you're not getting that. I don't care what team you're on, what team you're not on, okay? Joey belongs to the Woodbury Men's Association. Every year, that entire group makes a big donation to the food pantry. Unpolitical, doesn't ask me what I'm doing with it, he knows exactly what's doing with it. The money goes in an account, we buy the food, the money goes out the door. That's what I want it to stay as. I'm not saying it is political, I'm saying I don't want it to be political. I think you're not understanding the English I'm speaking.
So basically.
Again, nobody came to me, even mentioned
What I'm
this.
trying to say is that we're not speaking.
Good, keep it unpolitical.
And it's
That's all, thank you.
right- And it's right now in a subcommittee with the park.
That's great.
And
All I'm
has-
saying is keep it
hasn't
at-
come to us at the town board level yet for discussion.
Okay, but I don't see where you can put the food pantry on there without even talking to a member of the food pantry.
But I said the subcommittee will be told by us now that you brought it up, and we will talk to them about it.
Okay,
They did not come to us officially or anything as of right now.
Okay, I'm coming to you as the runner, or whatever you want to call me,
I just want you to know that I understand.
of the food pantry.
But I understand what you're
Okay.
saying, and I'm trying to just say, we have it, we understand.
Okay,
We got it.
perfect.
And it was,
Good.
that's not the intent from the board right now.
That's what I want. Thank you.
Well,
Okay, thank you for your comments.
Mhm.
Teresa Luongo, Central Valley. One, I want to say, I'm the vice president of We Are Woodbury. We are a non-political community group. Anyone is welcome to join our group, but politics is not involved. What I wanted to state was on the last parks meeting on March 16th, there's an error at the end of the minutes. It states that We Are Woodbury will be collecting money for the first responders 5K. We are not collecting any funds in regards to this 5K, so I just want that to be corrected.
Okay, you would have to, I'm sorry. You will have to go to the library meeting and ask them to please, to the park, I'm sorry, thank you. and ask them to change the minutes, because they submit it.
Okay.
They just submit these minutes. We don't approve them or disapprove them,
Who
so.
writes the minutes?
I'm not sure, I think it's, is it Willa? Yeah, Willa Freeman.
Okay, so can I just email?
You
them?
can, yeah, but that gets corrected at their level. They just hand it in to us.
All right, thank you.
You're welcome. Anybody else?
Good evening, Maria Hunter. Couple of things. I was gonna bring up to you that I would be notifying Willa about her minutes and her error on her last statement to remove the We Are Woodbury. I know you only received the minutes because you don't approve those minutes, and once I let you know via video, and I will go to that meeting, I will let the Parks Department, Parks Committee know that there was an error in that. And, so I thank you for listening to myself and to Teresa. Item D on your agenda, new business. To receive an award bid from John P. Burke Memorial Pool. I didn't see anything on the website about that. Can anyone state anything about it, or is this something that you're going to discuss later?
We'll discuss the numbers
Okay, thank you.
when it comes to that.
Then item G, you have town board discussion on the senior center. I didn't see anything on the website. Is there anything going to be?
No, that really has to do with, their trips and things that they wanna do, and, I know that they call me all the time about that, and I would prefer that it be a, town board decision and not just myself.
All right. And being that Ray and Brandon Valori are not here tonight, they are the running members, they're the committee chairpersons who are running this wonderful event for First Responder Day. There are 7 of us that are core meeting. We have not finalized everything yet because we're still working on it. We're pending the CDC, the governor, and what things need to be addressed. So this is in the beginning stages. We want to put a date out there only. I've had favorable responses from that, and I am on the committee, and I'm there as the beautification representative. We've already ordered items so that we can decorate for ambulance, fire, and police with banners and flags, and for that day. And we spent a nice chunk of money on that, and we'll be here in the next 2 weeks. There will be events that day, the 5K, which is going to be in the morning. We have not finalized it as yet, because we have to put together a team of workers, volunteers, and we're going to set it all up. So, as a board, you don't have everything, because it's still being worked on. And I would like, and all of you who are up there, you know that you can reach any one of us board members, committee members, subcommittee members, to get any information. And I think the flyer did state that there was going to be proceeds. Any cash, and I'm not going to get into a debate with anyone in the room here right now. Any money collected, we were going to approach the food pantry and said, would you like this money in gift cards or cash? Any money that we collected, we went through ambulance, fire, police, dog shelter. We were going to approach the food pantry if the 5K goes through and we collect money. We don't know if we can do it with the governor's ruling and what happens with the 3rd, 4th, 5th wave that's going on. So all of this is being prematurely debated because we have a pecking list of what we're going to do that day. And like you all said, it's in the planning stages only. And we appreciate, it's under the Parks Department. Joey G is the one who's going to tell the subcommittee, the beautification committee, yes or no, what we can do, because we have to make sure we follow all the proper procedures with the town protocols. And real quick, I'm sure one of the board members will probably announce it tonight. This is the Public Safety Telecommunications Week. Our department does an awfully good job, not awful job, excuse me, awfully decent job. They represent Woodbury, and we have the finest department going with our dispatchers. They also help out with Harriman, most people might not know that. From the dispatchers to the police officers and everyone in that department, they do a great job, so thank you.
Marie, can I just ask a quick question?
Sure.
I don't know everyone that's on that subcommittee. Is anybody running for office? I'm just curious.
No.
Okay.
You have 3 members from the Parks Committee. You have myself, Joey, and 2 residents. Not one of them is running for office.
All right, thank you.
You're welcome.
Anybody else? Okay. Without further ado, let's get our business done for the town. I got administration business. I need a motion and a second to accept the minutes of April 1st,
I'll make a motion. I'll second that.
2021. Okay, Desiree, want to do a roll call, please? Yes.
Yes.
We do that for every motion.
Yeah, we're gonna do that, it's just me.
that, please, I have a headache.
Oh, okay, then we won't do it. Okay. Well, you know what though, when we vote on it, we
We don't do it
will,
on the laws, but.
we'll do it on, right, okay, but everyone will just say,
You have to write down the line.
yeah, we'll just, 1, 2, 6. Okay, do you wanna do abstract 8 or do you want me to do it? Okay, thank you.
Abstract 8 contains vouchers 210451 through 210531, and it totals $289,188.77.
Okay, I need a motion and a second for that, please. Thank you.
Second.
Okay, Tom?
Yes.
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 Thank you. Budget modifications, do you want me to do them, Desiree? Okay.
General fund increasing R599, appropriate fund balance by $8,800, and increasing A 1680.200. Central data processing equipment by $8,800, and general fund with the parkland reserve fund by increasing A 599, appropriate fund balance by $80,000, A 9901.900, transfer to other funds by $160,000, and decreasing A 9710.703, JPB pool serial bonds interest by $80,000, increasing SCM 5031 interfund transfer by $160,000, and increasing CM 962 budgetary provisions for other uses by $160,000.
Okay, I need a motion and a second.
Make that motion.
Okay, I will second it because I wanted to explain 2 things on here. When we were going through the COVID-19 response and emergency preparations for the town, it was brought up to us that the state had recommended that we get laptops for all our employees or non-essential employees, so that if this ever happens again, that they can work from home. As many people have heard, we have approximately $1.29 million coming to the town from the federal government. That will be split between us, the town, the village of Harriman, and the village of Woodbury. That money must be spent by 2024 or it gets returned back. And it can only be used basically towards COVID-19 or emergency type situation. So the town has decided to go out and purchase those laptops using that monies. We are purchasing some now because we are in preparation of doing the court, which will be undertaking renovations, and because there's asbestos, they need to be out of the building. So we're purchasing those laptops now, and it will be refunded back to us once we get that money from the government. They need to work off off campus basically. In fact, they'll be working right up here. And so those first 5 laptops are going to our employees that are at the courthouse. And as we go on, we will continue to pick up more laptops once we get the money for the rest of our employees. So that's the 8,800, because we've already had money in an account that we can use. The second budget modification is for parkland revenues. As you know, the village decided to keep our parkland monies that were coming to us. And so we needed to find a way to fund the parklands. So what we did is because we way overestimated the cost of the interest for the pool payment, we took out 80,000 from 2020's budget and 2021's budget. And so that's where the 80,000 for each year is going into 160,000, which is for parklands. So that's the explanation for those 2 things. And now a roll call. Tom, please.
Yes.
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 Thank you. Okay, new business. Authorize the town clerk to advertise for propane bids. That's a 2-year bid. So, thank you. I need a second.
Second.
Okay, thank you. Tom and Tyler. Tom?
Yes.
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 Thank you. Authorize the town clerk to advertise for fuel oil number 2 bids.
Make that motion.
Thank you. And that is without the maintenance this time because we are hiring someone to maintain all our large equipment and furnaces and air conditioners, etc. I need a second.
Second.
Thank you. Tom?
Yes.
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 Okay. Renew stratagem service agreement. We sent it out. It's for all the town properties. It is for $7,742.70. It's a yearly renewal. I need a motion, which I will make. I need a second.
Second.
Thank you, Tom. You want to start us off, Tom?
Yes.
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 Yes for me?
Okay, all right. Receive and award the bids for the John Burke Memorial Pool. We received 2 bids. Did you want to read it, Desiree? Go ahead.
The bid opening was held on March 16, 2021, and the bid notice was printed in the Times Herald Record on January 29, 2021, for renovations to the John P. Burke Memorial Pool, and the following bids were received. Mainline Commercial Pools, King of Prussia, Pennsylvania, for $2,558,000. Sorry. Vaccine head low. Premier Pool renovations from Plymouth Meeting, PA, for $2,598,175. You received correspondence from Engineer Fusco recommending to go with mainline commercial pools in the amount of $2,558,000 with a construction start date of August 16, 2021, and a completion date of May 10, 2027.
For the record,
Hold on a second, wait. It's 2022.
His letter says 2027.
I know, but it's a typo. It's 2022. I think it's gonna be.
It's a big pool.
maybe will it type
Maybe.
Okay, thank you, Joe. Did you want to say something on that, Joe?
Yes.
Take the microphone, please.
I don't know, do I clean my hands and then touch it, or clean it and then touch it?
Whatever makes you happy.
I reviewed the bid packet. I had several discussions with the town engineer. I reviewed the comments that he submitted. according, in addition to the recommendation of our pool contractor. So I just wanted to let the board know, I have no objections. I agree with the engineer's recommendation.
Thank you, and just for the record, I did speak with Al yesterday, and I did mention the 2027 typo, and he said that that was definitely a typo, it is 2022.
You wanna vote without that?
Yes, we can. I think we can, yes.
Frank,
Yes,
you spoke with Al yesterday. Did you have a continued conversation regarding, starting with the borings?
we did speak to him, and he is going to get back to us on that. But they are going to do it. In fact, I received a text today from Rob Wyatt, who works for the village on the highway department, and he told me that they have completed moving all that dirt for us, so I want to thank the village very much for their cooperation in this, and now we'll be getting the dirt from the construction site that's across from the police station, which has been approved by Gary Thomasberger. Okay, do we need a roll call for the pool bid?
We've been doing it for everything, so.
Frank, before you say, I just want to add also, just so everyone here that may not be aware, the pool bid that we received and accepted, well, both of them received, but it does not include any electrical. We're going to have to.
Correct.
That is also an additional bid that must go out now. Both contractors that submitted bids did not have an electrical portion submitted with their bid. So there's a few guesstimates, but we're gonna have to wait until we put it out. I think Al's gonna put it out. Not sure whether it's gonna go local or if it's gonna be the contractor himself who's gonna go out and see and go out and solicit it, just so everyone knows. So that contract that we just agreed to, we're gonna agree to, is an electrical portion that we have to add, which is gonna be expensive, $200,000, I'm sure. All right?
And they both have started?
Well, we didn't talk about the starting times, because with the both of them, we just went through it and then one was dropped off, right? That's right? And then-
Starting times that the bids were received?
No, the starting times of the construction.
No, Premier Pool renovation had a start date of May 15th, and Mainline had a start date of August 1st, according to their bids.
Yeah, according to Al, he told me that more than likely they'll be starting sooner than the August timeline, so.
He didn't or didn't?
He said that they should be starting before the August date that they stated. And as you can see, we took out a bond for $4,950,000. We cannot pay it early, because we went and checked all this stuff out today. I had Eileen looking into that, so I can discuss it tonight. I guess the good thing about it is the taxpayer probably won't have to make a payment until 8 years from now, because we have to pay down the debt, and we have to pay it down from the extra money that we took. And so I think that's a plus for the town of Woodbury in some way, shape, or form. And of course, any interest that we make on the money that's still sitting in the bank, we can't use it for just anything. It needs to be used to pay down the debt. So I think in some way, that's kind of a relief for the town of Woodbury residents, because more than likely you won't be paying the main debt down for quite a few years until we run out of the money that we overborrow. Okay, Tom, do you want to start the vote?
Yes.
We need a motion, so
I thought we did that already, didn't we?
I don't.
I thought Bob gave a motion. No? Okay, Tom, I need a motion in a second.
I'll make the motion.
I'll second it. Okay, Tom?
Yes.
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 Okay, thank you. We had local law number 1, town board to approve tonight. That local law, we had closed the public hearing, but we were willing, we said that we would accept any comments up until today. We did receive one comment from Orange and Rockland, and Joe, you want to make a statement on that, please?
Yes, I was in touch with a representative from ONR today. They requested one change, and the change has to do with the way that the town gets notified if one of the agencies is going to erect, remove a pole. The way the wall vote is written right now, it requires them to go through a certain system from the PSC. But since the town doesn't have access to that system right now, we agreed to just let the sentence end in a way that just obligates the utilities to notify the town, and not state a particular method, but to notify the town if the new pole is going to be erected or if it's going to be moved or removed. So what we're doing is in section 3, we're deleting approximately 8 words. So it will say, no firm, person, or corporation subject to the jurisdiction and regulation of the New York State Public Service Commission shall place or erect any pole for any purpose on any highway, street, road, or right of way within the town, or change the location of any existing pole on any highway, street, road, or right of way within the town, without first having provided notification to the town. Period. And that's where the sentence is going to.
And I would assume, Joe, that on an emergency basis, that would not fly.
Excuse me?
I would assume that on an emergency basis where a pole came down and they gotta put one up, I mean, they'll notify us, but I think that, they gotta do their job.
Yes, but the law is not really designed to address emergency actions. It's designed to address the opposite, where the poles are left and not removed. So yes, I mean, we're not gonna interfere in any way. Our legislation is not gonna interfere with their ability to take emergency actions. So still, they're gonna notify us, and since this is a very minor change to the law, the board does not need to hold a new public hearing. If the board's comfortable with the way that sentence is now stated, the board can adopt a local law tonight.
Okay, thank you. So I'll need did we feel like going forward with this, with the law?
Sure.
Okay, so I need a motion and a second to approve local law number 1 of 2021 titled Removal of Utility Poles.
Make that motion.
Thank you, Bob. Second? Thank you, Tom. Before we do a roll call, I would just like to state that I'm not sure if anybody else has noticed it, but I definitely have because it's been occurring, or it occurred on my street. I've noticed that many of the the zombie poles, the wires were moved onto the main poles, and that and then now they're gone. And I spoke to a representative who happened to be there that day when I saw them removing the poles, and he stated to me that it was Frontier that's removing these poles, and that they've had a lot of sort of resistance from Middletown and way yonder, who passed very similar laws to what we have here now, and they happened to notice our new law being put into effect, and so they've actually gone out and sent out bids and contracted with a company to remove all the zombie poles that have the wires removed that are their responsibilities in the town of Woodbury. So I was very pleased and very happy to see that. I was even more pleased to not see those zombie poles on my street anymore. I have seen some also being taken down on Park Avenue and a couple of other streets. So they are moving forward with it, and I'm very appreciative of Frontier for taking care of that issue. Tom? Oh, no, you gotta do a roll call?
Local law requires a formal roll.
Yes.
Councilman Burke.
Yes.
Councilman Hess. Supervisor.
Yes.
Councilman Hunter.
Yes.
And Councilwoman Hernandez is absent.
Correct. Okay, we have a second local law, number 2 of 2021, titled Parades and Motorcades. We've all had, that was quite a few meetings ago that we had the public hearing and it was closed. So now we're ready to vote on it. We were waiting for a couple of things to go through and it has, so we're going to move forward on it. I need a motion and a second to approve local law number 2, 2021, titled Parades and Motorcades. And I won't have you read the whole thing, Desiree. Yes.
The attorney would like me to read.
Okay.
the process.
Okay.
Resolved that the proposed local law is classified as an unlisted action under secret. I believe this is identical to what the previous law should have said too.
Yes, correct.
Yeah,
It
we have
has
it
no
for vote.
significant adverse environmental impacts, and the town board issued a negative declaration thereon. The adoption of the proposed local law is in the best interest of residents of the town, and the board hereby adopts local law 2 of 2021 entitled a local law repealing and replacing chapter 221 of the town code of the town of Woodbury, New York, entitled Parades and Motorcades. And hereby directs the town clerk to enter said local law in the minutes of this meeting and in the local law book of the town of Woodbury, and to give notice of the adoption of said local law to the Secretary of State of New York.
Thank you, Desiree. Okay, I need a motion and a second. I'll make that motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
Thank you. Desiree, please, roll call.
Councilman Burke,
Yes.
Councilman Etzel,
Yes.
Supervisor Palermo,
Yes.
Councilman Hunter,
Yes.
Councilman Hernandez is absent.
Okay. Letter G on our new business is, says the town board is going to discuss the senior center. What I wanted to discuss with the town board here is that we're getting a lot of requests to go from the seniors to go on trips. And I know Cornwall has put up a couple of trips, and you know the word spreads throughout the county, and now every senior center wants to have trips. I also know that they're having trouble selling tickets for that church, and I don't blame them. Our seniors last a long time because they got something up here, they're not stupid. So I would like to put some kind of a policy in place, like a 3-month policy, which basically states that we shouldn't have any trips until at least 3 months from now, give it to into the summer. And then if you want to go on a trip, you need to show that you've got a vaccine, you know, that you've been vaccinated. Does anybody have a problem on the board with that, or any discussion?
Did they give you any idea what type of trips they're talking about?
I know that one is to go to, like a botanical gardens type thing, and the other one was a lunch at the, I should know where the place is, my son got married there. It's in New Jersey.
Ringwood? In Ringwood. There's a
No.
botanical garden in Ringwood.
Yeah, no. But anyway, it's I can't believe I can't remember the name of the place. Is it Brookside? No. Okay, so anyway, the point is that, you know, as I said, they're having problems selling tickets for that, but these are the kind of trips that they want to go on. Obviously, normally they'll go on 1 or 2 trips to the city, you know, go to a play, something like that, without Broadway still closed. So that's what they're looking to do. They would be limited, or they would get 2 buses or whatever, but how do you feel about something along those lines where we would be asking that people have a vaccine, be vaccinated, if they want to go on the trip?
The seniors are looking to do this, or the,
Yes, yes.
do you know like how many are interested?
I don't have an exact number, but usually when they go on a trip, they try to fill the bus.
Yeah, but how many are looking now? Is that what you're asking about?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I know that I had a conversation with Shakeen, and she's told me that seniors have been asking to go on some trips. Nothing in specific, but, this is what they're asking. If you wanna think about it, and we can come up with a decision at the next meeting, is fine. If you wanna talk about it here, I'm willing to listen.
I'll start. Being that this is the first time it was brought up for discussion, and you're saying that we're gonna discuss possibly waiting 3 months? Possible.
I think that's a given. I don't think we should be doing anything until the summer at least.
My initial thought is that, if we tell the seniors that they need to be vaccinated, we also need to let them know that whatever their trips that they wish to go on, where they're going, or what they'd like to do, they may be required to be vaccinated to go there. Like, let's say we said, okay, it's optional, then they get to whatever the trip is, they may not be allowed in because they weren't vaccinated. Personally, I have a family member, and we're planning a wedding, and the venue already told us that you can't have anybody at the wedding if they haven't been vaccinated. And if we're planning something with large numbers, that kind of took me a little bit back, but I pulled it forward a little bit. But, so that's all I'm thinking right now, but we'll continue the conversation, but I don't know how people feel about it as far as, saying, you shouldn't tell people to go get vaccinated, but they may not be able to go to the place that they want to go to without it either. So that's what my thoughts are right now.
That's the same as you wanna go to a ball game or something like that. I know that, I think they're requiring that also.
I think they're doing a rapid test or something, a
Yeah.
ball game or something.
Yeah.
We should probably review it in 3 months to see.
Okay.
Of course, this pandemic is taking and all. That way we can make a better judgment on it.
Okay, so why don't we just let them know that we would, it's just that they wait 3 months before they do any kind of a trip right now.
Right.
How do you feel about that?
I think that's a good idea.
Okay, Bob, feel you okay with that?
Yeah.
Okay, Tom?
Yes.
Okay, so I'll inform, Shakeen tomorrow, I'll give her a call, and let her know what we decided on that. Well, I don't think we gotta actually vote on it, but I think that it's a,
You wanted to recognize.
yeah, she did, and I understand, so, no problem with that.
So Frank, we're basically gonna tell the seniors then that they can't plan anything until August.
About that, yeah, I would say that's fair, yeah, yeah. And, my son got married at the Brownstones. I hope he doesn't watch this show. I'm in big trouble. All right, let's go on to old business. At the last meeting, we went into an executive session to discuss a matter of personnel with a member of the Parks Committee, and the board had voted unanimously to remove Sue Lynn from the Parks Committee. I didn't mention it yesterday, at the last meeting, because she did not attend the meeting that we wanted to meet with her, and I didn't think that it was right to announce our decision without actually speaking to her first or notifying her, which I did send out a letter, I sent an email out, and we sent her a letter, and she has been notified, so it's not like it's gonna come to a surprise from her after this evening, so I just wanted to make that known. Jackie asked me to just bring up to the town board to give its approval. They are going to start on, I think it's April 22nd, a program for composting. And it's a series that I know Jackie is overseeing. And it's has to do with the Climate Smart Committee Task Force. And I think it's running for a few weeks, 6 weeks, and it ends sometime in May, towards the end of May. So, does the board have any problems with the task force supporting it?
No, it's a good idea.
Yeah,
Thank you.
Get involved in the library, is involved in it also.
Yes, yes, the library is involved in it, and it is a program that they're doing through the library system. So I'm happy to announce that out there, Jackie, when you watch this tomorrow, that we are in full support of your program. So thank you. Department reports. Supervisor's report, Desiree, please, for March 2021.
Has receipts totaling $85,247.76. And disbursements totaling $961,043.30.
Okay, I need a motion and a second.
Make that motion?
Thank you. Who made it? The second? Tyler? Okay. Tom?
Yes.
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 Thank you. Okay, we received the town clerk's report for March of 2021. I've got the animal control or ACO officers monthly report for March of 2021. I've got the Woodbury Town Police Department report, which I will make a comment on in a few minutes. We have the Woodbury Public Library annual meeting for March 23rd, 2021. We also have the library Sarah Johnson's Director's Report for March of 2021. The Buildings and Grounds Report for March of 2021. The Parks and Recreation Committee reports, the minutes from March 16th, 2021. We've got the minutes for the Beautification Committee held on April 1st, 2021. And we have the budget versus actual, March of 2021. Okay, board member comments. Bob?
So, this is National EMS Fire and Police Dispatchers Week. These people are truly on call 24/7, and they are the unsung heroes because they're always there, they're always coordinating things at headquarters. They have to get factual information, and they have to get it out to the right people, and they have to know how to do that. And, we can't say enough to these people for manning the phones, the radios, and keeping things going. So, if you see a dispatcher, give them a big COVID hug, because they earned it. And we really appreciate their efforts. Also, Buildings and Grounds, I see they had a heck of a month. I was reading their report, and everything from a sewer backup to changing light bulbs. I mean, these guys were really busy last month. They worked hard at it, and I'd just like to thank them because I don't think they get thanked enough. And again, they're in the background too. But, they get things done. So, thanks to the Buildings and Grounds Department. And I think that's it for now. Have a good evening.
Thank you, Bob. Again,
Yeah, I'd just like to commend Joey on, he did a really great job this past month, and looking forward to a lot more great things coming. Thanks.
Okay, also to the Buildings and Grounds, they did a great job, but I have a question for Joe. Can't just let him sit there. At your meeting, actually, at our meeting, our last meeting, it was Jackie who brought up that this month is Autism Awareness Month. And at the Parks meeting, I know there was discussion, we regarding the purchase of blue lights to be placed around the town properties. I don't know if you could answer that, or if Maria, but do you know if, where we're at with that, if we're gonna be able to get them this year, or where we're at?
The lights are up right now. Across the street from Mackenzie's, they wrapped all the lights in the poles there, there's blue lights there. They're at the, I believe, the police station and the libraries and the courts. We put the blue lights up for us this month. And that's really.
How about around the res, anything there?
We couldn't get the lights for that. We wanted the new mobile lights, but they didn't have any, so.
All right, thank you, that's good. I also want to acknowledge the highway department. I've been following it closely. I live nearby the pool, and the job that they did to spread the soil that was left there, they did just a tremendous job. They just finished it up basically today. It was a few months ago that ourselves and then we collaborated with the village board, the trustees, and together we all worked together, and we were able to secure some soil from the construction site that's across from the state troopers barracks in Monroe, for all that construction. So we're going to be able to get some soil from there, and there's more than enough soil coming from there that'll be able to level it all out and make it nice along the way. You know, as soon as the pool is in place. I also like to say that to the this past Saturday, I stopped by the highway. I made an appointment to donate blood. It was done. It was the second annual spring blood drive in memory of Mike Hansen and Tony Maggio, and I saw Tracy there, and I saw Andrew also, and everybody that was in there working. They did an outstanding job again, and I wanted to acknowledge that. It's very important, and they just do a wonderful job. It was very crowded, so I just wanted to mention that to them and say, job well done. That's what I have tonight, so thank you.
Desiree, do you have anything? Joe? Joe and Joe?
Oh, that Joe, me, Joe. Just Joe.
He said no, you've got something to say, you can say it. Go on the microphone.
I wanted to accept the kudos.
Go on the microphone.
I want to accept the kudos for the Bills and Grounds, but we are a team and we work as a team, so I want to say thank you to the guys also. Those people, it's not me, it's not just me, it's everybody, so I just want to throw it out there. Thanks. Sorry, Joe.
Okay. Well, you're playing.
I was talking about your workers, not you.
Oh, okay, no problem. As long as we got that clear.
Okay. Couple of things I'd like to announce tonight. Number one, I'm very, very excited that the town has received 2 grants from the federal government, totaling $125,000. They're both for the police department. We're receiving a $75,000 grant for the tactical team for their training and to work with other towns. And we received another $50,000 grant for another K9 bomb dog. A little explanation on that, because I'm sure someone out there is going to be saying, what, I'm going to have 3 dogs? A bomb dog's life is usually till they're 8 years old. And Zeke, who started back in 2017, is going to be 6 years old this year. And so the way I've always tried to run an administration is to not think about today, but to always think about the future. And so we applied for another $50,000 grant for the bomb dog, knowing that in 2 years we're going to be losing Zeke probably. And so with the timing of this grant, we should be able to purchase another dog. It takes about a year, almost a year and a half in training. So by the time that dog is ready to come into service, they may overlap for a few months, maybe even up to a year. But the point is we will always have 2 dogs going. And I feel that that's very important because when one handler who is entitled to vacation time goes on vacation, we will always have another dog available to us. And having the Woodbury Commons and our schools with all those children that are there and the people that attend it, we need a bomb dog available to us almost 24/7. So I'm very excited about it, and I'm very pleased that we were able to get it. And okay, my mind drew a blank. Sergeant that got us the grant, Chief. Korea, correct. Sergeant Korea, who has just been appointed provisional sergeant, is a K-9 handler, and more than likely, when he passes the test and becomes a full-time sergeant, will be in charge of this division, our K-9 division. And I want to thank him, who did all the paperwork to receive that grant.
Are those matching grants or just straight flat grants?
It's straight flat grant, 50,000, and what's nice about it is, it pays for the dog, and we also get they give you a vehicle as well. So, it's a great grant to get, and and I think in today's day and age, it's a necessity to have, these K-9 dogs, and they're such an asset to our department. It's, when we were having, when they were having those demonstrations, I think 6, 7 months ago or so, they would think of coming to Woodbury Commons. Well, we had dogs all over on every entrance, and nobody came near those dogs. So they are a definite deterrent. So once again, I hope that future boards continue to do what we've started and continue to look to the future and to always make sure that we have at least 2 bomb dogs available to this town at all times. And that's about it that I have for tonight. We are going to go into an executive session to meet with our attorney, as well as a discussion about an agreement with a town employee, resignation, and so I need a motion to go into executive session.
I'll make a motion.
All in favor? Aye. Okay, thank you. I don't think we'll be taking any action per se, so thank you.
All right.